Hey guys, Sebi here. Season 11 is proving to be quite a big shake-up to League of Legends, particularly compared to Season 10, so I thought it would be interesting to talk about some things that I think you should take into account as we head into the Season 11 ranked season, and some things to continue to think about as the season progresses. The first thing I wanted to discuss in this video is goal setting, and how setting goals for yourself will allow you to keep track of your progression throughout the season and to gauge whether you have improved or not. Additionally, I'll discuss some ideas around meta, how to discover the best niche that works for you, and whether picking meta over niche is necessarily good or bad depending on what you want to achieve in Season 11. Your goals can come in many forms, and it doesn't matter how large or small they may be. Your goals can differ from someone else's goals, and that's perfectly okay. Perhaps your goal this season is to attain a rank that you would have not been able to obtain in previous seasons, perhaps from gold to platinum, or even bronze to silver. But the best way to achieve maximum success is to set goals that are both attainable and measurable. Being able to identify the necessary steps that need to be taken to achieve your goals is incredibly important in the easiest way to gauge success as your goals progress. This could entail a couple of things. First of all, we need to identify what does success to you look like. Is it winning a certain percentage of your games? Or perhaps could it be something smaller? Could it be something as small as not dying in lane, or avoiding jungler ganks, or attaining decent CS numbers? These smaller goals that lead into your larger overall goal can ensure that you remain on track, and sometimes winning games doesn't always mean you've succeeded at the goal you've set. There are various different ways to be able to measure your goals through your gameplay. Obviously, one of these could be reviewing your games, watching the VODs after the game, or even just watching the highlights through a program such as Medal can help you easily identify the positives and negatives from any game that you've played. However, reviewing games isn't necessarily the be-all and end-all. Personally, I really struggle to review my games. Identifying mistakes in the moment and taking notes on them, both pre and post game, can help keep these mistakes and the things to fix them fresh in your mind in future games. These could be notes such as, how did my training patterns lead to wins or losses in lane? What could I have done differently knowing that my jungler was on the other side of the map? What could I have done differently in team fights? And so on and so on. Taking notes after a game is perhaps one of the most important things that you can do as a player to help continue your improvement, and enables you to come back to them before the game loads in so that the things you want to work on remain fresh in your mind throughout the game. Additionally, watching games from players that are better than you, or even just matchups that you are unfamiliar with and that someone else is familiar with, can help you identify some mistakes that you might be unaware of, or help fix a matchup that you've been particularly struggling with. Obviously, it's easy to say that watching Koreans is probably the best way to get the best overall picture for what an ideal version of the matchup looks like, but watching someone that mains a champion or even one-tricks a champion can perhaps be more beneficial in certain situations. So take the example of watching Koreans with a grain of salt. Season 11 meta shift has been quite significant in that certain champions have shown prowess in certain lanes, but sometimes maining what is considered meta isn't always the best way to climb and improve. Finding your niche is perhaps more important to certain players. Different playstyles work for different people, so ensuring you're not grinding just for the sake of grinding is the best way to keep working towards all of your goals. Do you find tank playstyles fun? What about split pushes? Narrow down your options and find 2 to 3 champions that fit the molds you want to work on, and start to incorporate those champions into your goals. Just because certain champions or certain playstyles are considered unfun to some people doesn't necessarily mean they aren't going to be successful. Some of the best players in the world are able to identify what champions work best regardless of how fun or interesting they can be in different parts of the game. It's important to find a combination that works for you. Find a couple champions and stick to them. Playing and learning too many champions at once can become detrimental, as different kits means different playstyles and means more to take in. But say, for example, if you were learning every matchup for a champion like Renekton, the sort of skills you learn on Renekton can be transferred to other similar bruiser champions. For example, Camille, Darius, and Fiora. Another tip I'd offer to particularly low and mid elo players is to not pay too much attention to the people in your champ select and the people you go against using programs such as Blitz and OP.gg. Sometimes getting in your own head in these situations can be more detrimental than it is helpful to your overall gameplay. Putting all of your mental fortitude into the matchup as you head into the loading screen is usually far more beneficial than worrying about what rank the opponent you're going up against is. Season 11 could be your season, and there's only one way to find out, right? Thanks for watching, and good luck.